So my last video didn't do too badly, did it? You know, the one where I gave you my heartfelt commentary about the old Jaguar situation. Yep, not too shabby, especially for a modest channel like my own. Might I have said something inflammatory? You bet your bottom sausage I did, because that's what I tend to do when someone tries ripping me heart straight out me ribcage. Sorry, or was it straight out of Compton? Or was it straight out the set of California Girls? Beats me. Though, I have been reading some of your theories in the comments. One of those theories was from this lad who thought I was spreading fake news. The shame of it. But it does go to show how far Jaguar really has gone this time, because it definitely was not fake news, my son. Oh no, son. No. It's even got a name and everything. It's called the Type 00. Type 00. I can't exactly see that Pierce Bronson rolling up in one of these. Type 00. How desperate is that? Are you suggesting 007 would drive this? The whole point of 007 is that he's undercover. You know, he kind of wants to blend in when he's on one of his top secret missions. I tell you something, you could spot one of those things from one of that Elon Musk satellites. No problemo. Shall we take a gander at what the CEO of Jag said at Miami Art Week then?
Jaguar celebrates fearless creativity, so where better to launch its reimagining than here at Miami Art Week?
Fearless creativity. Yeah, you're bloody fearless, all right. About as fearless as one of those kamikaze pilots from World War II. Tell me, when you were creating that thing, did you happen to be watching some archived footage of MTV's Pimp My Ride? Christ on a bike.
So where better to launch its reimagining than here at Miami Art Week?
I'm not quite sure. How about 4,426 miles northeast of Miami? And here's another thing. Instead of launching the car at an art show, how about launching the car at, you know, a bleeding car show? Nah, that'd be too silly, wouldn't it?
Getting attention in today's world is not always easy. Controversy has always surrounded British creativity when it's been at its best.
And its worst.
David Bowie, Vivienne Westwood, and architect Richard Rogers were some of my creative heroes. They were British trailblazers who challenged convention and had no desire to copy the norm.
David Bowie. Every See You Next Tuesday and his dog knows it's David Bowie. This isn't exactly up for debate, mate. It's not like scones and scones.
In the same way, when Jaguar was at its best, it threw away the car design rulebook and created E-Type and the XJS. These were objects of desire. Sir William Lyons, our founder, many years ago said, a Jaguar should be a copy of nothing.
The difference is, mate, people actually wanted those cars. You just said it yourself.
These were objects of desire.
My comment section and the like to dislike ratio is telling me something unquestionably bold, Pedro. What can't speak can't lie.
Follow this exact principle. Each symbol has meaning. The leaper always leaping forward, never backwards. The monogram, our seal of approval. And our word mark is the future face of Jaguar. Strike through is another symbol, and the name given to the horizontal lines repeated throughout Type 00.
I'll tell you something, I wish somebody struck through this one on the old drawing board. It seems to me, mate, that you're quite frankly drunk on symbols. Pack it in. I think I've had quite enough, lads. Now, one thing I didn't mention yesterday was the interior in much detail, but there's more information on it now. Basically, you got two flippy screens there, as if I ain't seen that before. Copy nothing. Copycats, more like. And they've applied some lashings of bronze on the interior, apparently. And where's the bloody cup holders gone? Don't worry, fellas. You can buy some knockoff ones on Amazon and just whack it in there. There you are. Drop yourself a Bud Light in there, and then Bob's your uncle, Sally's your aunt. Here's another thing. Another material that they reckon they've used in abundance on the interior is some sort of stone or marble, apparently. What are you trying to turn this into? A Turkish bath? Oh shit. I've clocked it, lads. I think I figured out Jaguar's new customer base. Now it all makes sense. Bloody hell. This car's like what would happen if Fred Flintstone met the Jetsons and then they all had one great big gangbang in the back of the motor. Now, before I give you my suggestions about what I think Jag should have done with the rebrand, let's read some of the comments. Let's reinforce some of that shame. This one may not go too fast because of the drag. Mate, that's not funny at all. Shame on you. Now, if you had told this in 2010, well then it'd be quite funny. I'd rather buy a school bus than this. Try fitting a tyre on that. Jesus Christ, Ian's got a point, fellas. I'd certainly think twice before calling the AA. Even though I like pink, I don't like this car. It's supposed to be awful, and you're supposed to hate it. You're supposed to lose faith in the cornerstones and institutions of your society. You're supposed to feel alone and isolated because you are easier to replace that way. This was never about money. To which I replied, that's a bit far. Looks horrible. I think it looks cool. Fuck off, mate. You're barred. Get out. Now, all these were great comments, but this one was me fave. Not really aiming at the golfers, are they? Jesus, the state of it. So where do I think that they went wrong, and what do I think they should have done with a rebrand? Let me know if you agree with me in the comments. Now, I can't help but think that this whole situation reminds me of the quartz crisis back in the 1980s. If you don't know what that is, let me quickly explain by taking you back there in my time machine. You alright, mate? I'm a Rolex Submariner. I'm the big boy round here. Yeah, you're right, mate. I'm a Seiko Quartz Astron. So tell me, mate, how accurate are you, son? I'm accurate to about 4 or 5 seconds a day myself. Bit of a record holder in that department, me. Yeah, well, I'm accurate to like 4 or 5 seconds a month, mate. What the fuck did you say? Did you just say 4 to 5 seconds a month? Yes, mate. Keeping time, well, it's not hard, is it? Well, I think it is, mate. Some geezer up in Switzerland took about 1 year to make my inside. You're having a laugh, ain't ya? Nah, mate. Time's a piece of piss. Easy work. Okay. Well, how long do you last then? I can last about 48 hours before I need a good winding. Well, actually, mate, I don't need winding at all. See, I swallowed that great big battery over there earlier, and this will keep me going for, I don't know, 1 or 2 years? 1 or 2 years? Shut up. Look at him. He's winding me up, isn't he? Good one. You know me too well, my son. I love a good wind-up. Nah, mate. I'm an all-new design, and I cost like 100 times less than any other watch, so bit of a steal, really. Bit of a no-brainer. So what do you think Rolex did in this situation then, lads? Did they resort to radically changing their key models to try and keep up with Seiko and the like? Of course they didn't, you donut. Most of the times they tried to, it was actually a complete failure. What works for these luxury brands is going back to their roots. Nostalgia works, lads. Just look at Star Wars. They're raking it in. And that Sony PS5 Retro Edition that sold out in seconds the other day. Not quite the same thing, is it? Good point. But anyway, I think maybe what Jag should have done would have been to make exclusively petrol cars for the time being and, you know, double down on what their current customer base wants. Look, and even if you think they should go 100% electric, that's fine because that's up for debate. If you're going to go 100% electric, then at least go back to your historic designs. If you're going to let us down, at least let us down gently, would ya? Now, what they could have done is turn the Jaguar showroom into more like a boutique that cherishes its past, not rips up the badge, kills the cat, and then lobs it straight through the cat flap. Why not bring to light the achievements of the brand that people have forgotten? The historical figures that have driven a Jag, like the George Bests, the Inspector Morses, and don't forget Boise from Only Fools. What I'm trying to say is, how about you try and, you know, storify it? The amount of times I've seen an Omega advert with that Neil Armstrong on the bleeding moon, but I'll tell you something, it works every time for Omega. Tell me now, what story does this tell? From what I can tell, this product just seems to be aimed at a bunch of people who want to show off how much money they've got. It's probably aimed at a bunch of Gen Z posers who pretend they're a different class to everyone else, when we all know that's not true at all, is it? Let me tell you something I've learned about money, lads, and it's something me dear old Nan told me, which I've not forgotten to this very day. Money will buy you a lot of things, but money can't buy class. Be honest with yourself. Does this look classy to you? I think even Justin Bieber would say, you took it too far. Bosh.